And so I think there's lots of questions end to end. Those begin with, so why the VOC? It's qualitative. Don't you want to do something that's more quantitative, or why not surveys or focus groups? So lots of those questions that come up. And how about the researcher or the team of researchers that someone would bring to bear? Are they really going to be the ones that help influence our direction? And then when you get these results and they are cross-functional, it's always difficult. I guess Jamie's cartoons from yesterday, right? About going to IT or going to product and saying, you need to change this thing that you think is great because it's not all that great, and we heard it from the customer. So that's tough to phase in. I will say, though, as a company, when Hernan came with the summary, with the deck from the VOC, we, and that's the collective we at our company, were smart enough to have the heads of all of our groups in the room and listening. And so I think it's a lot easier to have an expert, an outsider in that regard than, for instance, me saying, oh, by the way, that IT thing isn't really all that good. So I think that is helpful. It doesn't mean it just flips the switch. There's a skepticism about will it will work. And to Stephen's point, I think that is one of the reasons why we wanted to make sure we built credibility and we did the pilots and we took it a bit slow, because you don't want to say, all right, those folks at the table listened to this research and they didn't really buy in, but I'm going to spend the next $1 million doing something and cross my finger and hope it works. And so I think because we went stepwise, it allowed the company to begin to believe that the choice of the VOC, the work that came out of it, the fact that everyone was integrated helped and began to deliver those results. And so I hope that's an answer to your question about the way that phases in. I think that the cultural piece too comes along. Culture is one of the slowest things that change, as we know. It probably relates to what the culture is in your company is starting, right? And then what things you can do to build the culture. Building these results, having strategic thinkers, in executive positions throughout the company, enable that success. And I think over the last 3 to 5 years, there's been a lot in the marketing press and a lot of best practices around customer experience and loyalty. The great companies like Possible now enabling a lot of this. And so that obviously helped grease the skids too.